Oh, you know what time it is. It's that time of week where we all get together in the studio and talk about things near and dear to our hearts this week, as in a segment we like to call BSing.
Woo!
That's a bunch of BS.
That was a really lackluster group of cheers right there. Is everybody tired or what?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, yeah, I know Danny's had a rough morning.
I'm sleeping on a floor.
Yeah, that
know,
hurts.
So am I.
You would think a guy that was married for 17 years would be used to sleeping on a floor or a couch,
Your
but
kids took over, right?
yeah, this is that one time where I'm regretting the one bedroom purchase.
Oh, yeah.
Or rent. I should say.
I'm in mid-move. Jake, it looks cool. He's got his hot tub in his roof. He's great. Jen's got Bridgers. We have a little special guest today.
Yay, Bridger.
We have a lot to cover. I know I'm going to bring to the table conversations about movies as we get into Oscar week, which I know is Tony's favorite time of year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually
there's been some good ones.
I do love the movies that I love, though, never make it to the Oscars.
That's not true.
I like comic book movies.
Black Panther's up for Best Picture.
Well,
I'm just saying, there are some that you
Yeah.
like. We'll get to that in a second. Anyone want to throw their topic on the table first? By the way, if you're new to this, it's Tony, Jake, Jen, Danny Dwyer, and myself. We get together every Wednesday at 10:30 and talk about things happening in pop culture or relevant to our lives. Each one of us brings a topic, and we go around the room for what we call BSing. Who wants to begin?
We can start with mine. It's a
Go
little
for it.
heavy.
Is it yours or Bridger's?
Lighten up. It's Bridger's.
Is it heavier than Bridger?
Look at
He's
that
so
face.
cute.
He's having a bottle right now, but bottles are super. He's sort of into them. There is a study that came out that showed that 4 in 10 Americans can pass the citizenship test.
I saw that yesterday.
Yeah, so 60% of all Americans, like all of us that are already citizens, can't pass the test that people who want to come into our country to be a citizen must pass. And so I looked up the test online.
It's hard, huh?
And I have the tests with the answers, and I am definitely part of that 60%.
Hit them up.
Yeah.
That can't.
Ask a few of them.
Do you think we should all have to pass this test to maintain citizenship?
No.
Why? Because you're afraid you
I'd
won't pass?
lose it. Yeah.
And then he'd be departed back somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yes.
where would they send you? if
To the
you
other
didn't-
side of the wall, maybe.
You take the DNA test, the 23andMe thing, the Ancestry.com thing, and then that's where they send you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Britain.
great. That
So
means
I
I'm
would-
going back to Ireland,
I
which
would
is
be-
cool with me.
I'd
I
be-
like Ireland.
I'd be Britain or I think Scotland. That was
Well,
it.
what if you have like
Scottish.
a little bit of Native American in you? I mean, you get to stay? I mean,
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
sweet.
Maybe. Yeah.
Hit me with those questions, Jen.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with, actually, I'll just ask some of the ones I asked the guys this morning.
Well, you already asked us those.
Did you pass this morning? Did they pass?
No.
I'm guessing Tony did not.
Oh,
Jake
boy.
might have. That
No.
wouldn't surprise me.
Jake will tell you these are crazy.
Okay, what is the economic system in the United States?
Capitalism.
And
Capitalism and
there's 2.
socialism. I don't know.
No, definitely not that one.
No.
Well, until Bernie gets elected.
Market economy.
Oh,
That's the same thing.
Okay.
boy, we got to know that.
It says.
It is kind of the same
It's
thing.
there.
What is
Wow.
It is exactly. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just
Maybe it's
reading
or,
from
not and.
We're not
the
arguing with you. We're
test.
just arguing with the test. Anyway.
Okay.
next.
No arguing with you.
How many amendments does the Constitution have?
Oh,
Gosh,
geez.
like 31?
I was
something
gonna
like that,
say
32, somewhere in there?
34, isn't it?
I know there's a 25th because they've been talking about it a lot lately on the news. I'm going to say 33
What is the 25th Amendment, Danny?
to impeach the president.
Very
It's
good.
the succession of powers.
I didn't know
Right.
if you knew that or not.
It's 27. There are
Okay.
27
Okay, close.
amendments. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words?
We the people.
We the people.
Hey, good job.
It's the first 3 words.
You have to memorize that in 8th grade. It's been a long time since
Hit
I've
it,
been there,
Danny,
so
go.
I don't remember
We
it.
the people.
I do know that.
And, okay, one more. Ready?
Yeah.
What does the Constitution do?
It establishes our rule of law, right?
Yeah, establishes the laws of the land.
And
And
Oh, boy.
it's a great tourist destination to check out.
And,
Yeah.
and it helps us hold truth self-evident.
Makes for great Nicolas Cage movies.
sets
Yeah.
up the government, defines it, and protects the basic rights of America.
Yeah, Tony, we better pack our bags.
Oh, I'm right there with you, boys. If you're playing the home edition, tell me you're failing too as bad as we are.
I stopped
my
listening.
God.
I stopped listening 10 minutes ago.
That's
So
crazy.
we, you have to this is called the civics test, and you also have to pass a language test. But this test is actually called the naturalization test, and I called it the neutralization test. So I not only failed the English test, I
Right.
In college, though, on a serious note, in college, in a class, we studied citizenship. And as a project, they gave groups of people within the class a country to become a citizen in. And we had to go kind of through a mock process of what it's like to get into that country as a citizen.
Yeah.
I was given Mexico. I was a Mexican citizen, and I wanted to become a United States citizen. I never became a citizen by the end of the term.
Right.
That's how much paperwork and money that it costs and does to go back and forth and years of waiting. So my country and like a couple others never got citizenship.
Wow.
Well, knowing that the test is hard and probably most American citizens as it stands now wouldn't pass a test, should we make those questions easier?
I don't even, it doesn't buy.
No.
This is going to be horrible.
I mean,
it doesn't make it. I don't think they should have to pass it, but
this is all basic stuff that we all had to study in school. I mean, we may not remember it, but at one point we were tested on it when we were younger.
Right.
Do you think it would be better serving if it was more of an academic test than it? I mean, because that way we're getting the smart people into the country first. Do you think that would make more sense and be more valuable to the country than whether or not you know what the first three letters of the Constitution
Here's what I
are?
say. You sit down, you bring them in, you find out if they have any criminal record.
Well, yeah, number one.
No criminal record.
Drug test.
They want to work in the United States, give them a social security number so we get the taxes.
Sure, if they pay them.
And then there you go.
I don't want only smart people coming in. Like, that's not fair.
Yeah. I didn't say smart people.
Can't judge a book by its cover.
I was. I'm like, hey, let's see if they're smart.
I want less smart people because I have enough. I have enough trouble competing with people that are here.
Yeah, that's fair too. A lot of Americans will probably agree with that.
Yeah, like I need less smart people. Like
I mean,
joking,
define
more like
smart.
Me. Yeah. No.
Like define smart. We have a lot of, people. We always push that our young people need to go to college.
Right.
But who's gonna be the elevator engineer? Like, who's going to fix that? Who's going to farm the corn? Like, not saying those people aren't smart. They're just smart in their own way.
Show of hands. Who in this room went to college? And who of this room is the manager of the group?
Yeah.
Just saying.
What point are you trying to make?
I'm just saying you don't have to go to college to excel in life.
That's true.
No, that's
kids drop out of school. No, I'm
there's
kidding.
school smarts and there's street smarts.
Well, that's my point.
Clearly, I got the street smarts.
That's my point. If we're only letting in smart people,
Stockton will do that.
Then we're not allowing those who aren't as educated to get the jobs that still pay well.
But like in today's society too, like the skills trades, they're saying that there's so many people that are not coming up to learn a new skill, whether it be foremans of electricians or auto mechanics, welding, all this stuff. So they're in need of people. And people are now saying, okay, I guess I don't have to go to school because I can go get my degree and do this and what I want to do. And I think that's a great idea.
But the field that what was it, only 60%, either only 60% of the jobs are being filled or 60% of them are not in a field is coding.
Yeah.
Computer engineers and people that know how to write code are the ones that are in high demand because they don't have enough people who have the skills to fill the job. So if you're looking for a path down that'll be fruitful after college, that's definitely one.
Yep.
You got to be able to do it, though.
True. That's right. You got to learn how to do it.
I washed out of that program.
What?
I'm a bright guy. I washed out of software.
What do you mean you washed out? You quit?
Yeah, I couldn't handle it.
That's what Jake went to school for.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a gift, and it's almost like a weird gift, isn't it? Like you almost.
you got to have a brain that likes it. And
It's like, and I hated my computer teacher in high school that would say you have to have a logical brain because I'm thinking that's not fair. That's not. You shouldn't use that word logical, but there is a sense to it. Like there's got to be this.
Anybody can do it.
You just have to understand
natural to some people.
Sure.
Yeah. It just has to, you just have to look at it, and it just kind of.
Right.
I had a friend that lived across the street from me, made a ton of money at Microsoft. Didn't make it through college at all, but he was making, he could do coding and all that stuff.
Sure.
And I asked him, I said, so when did you know you had a gift? He was from Dallas, and he said, when the Dallas Board of Education hired me to do do their networking when I was in high school.
Wow.
They came and found him and said, hey, can you do the networking for the Board of Education for Dallas schools? And he's like,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and to bring up that kid,
It
that
was his
14-year-old boy from Arizona,
Right.
who just found that big major flaw for Apple. Like, no, even Apple scientists didn't even know
that.
it. Right?
I
mean,
saw
he figured
But
out
he-
there was a flaw in the system.
He didn't reveal it maliciously, which I respect. A lot of kids will
True.
exploit those flaws before they tell anybody.
Right.
So good for him for being honorable in that way.
Yeah. Parents raised him right.
What do you got today, Danny?
You know what? I'm talking about nosy neighbors.
You've been thinking about your neighbors
how
a lot
nosy
lately.
is too nosy. You know what I mean?
I'm going to try not to play top the story here because living in a marina is like.
I know.
Does this involve
Go
a
ahead.
hot tub?
I will. Yeah.
No, well, see, that's the thing. Like, so 2 parts to this. Yes, we have a hot tub in the backyard, and I was gonna put up like a little barrier because some of the neighbors on the backside could actually see if we were doing anything in the hot tub, which I wanted my privacy.
So can
Like
the
what,
guys sitting
eating?
out on the
Right,
street
yeah,
at night.
eating like Jake does. But we
Watch
have
out
this.
for Tony in your backyard. You know what he likes.
Don't
to
put a
do.
fence up, please.
But we have this sweet little old elderly woman, Miss Walters, who lives across the street from us. And a couple years ago, her husband passed. And she came to the house and said, I need your help, please. My husband's fallen. Can you please help us? We don't know what to do. And she was at the point where she was even elderly then. So we went and helped. We got him taken care of. A couple years, he passed. Well, last night, or yesterday afternoon, the ambulance showed up with the fire truck, and Kimmy was home. And she said the ambulance and fire truck teams, the EMTs, showed up at Mrs. Walters' house yesterday. And then they showed up again last night.
Oh gosh.
So I was like, oh my gosh. So I took pictures. But then the weirdest thing was, like, I felt like Mrs. Kravitz because I was looking out the window just to see if everything was all right. What, you know, if there's anything I could do to help, because she has a younger grandson that's watching and living with her. But as I was looking through the window, the firefighters were waving at me, like driving away. I'm like, oh, now I feel like a creepy, nosy neighbor. You know what I mean? It was kind of weird.
You were being a creepy nose.
I was, but I want to make sure she's okay. You know,
Well, and maybe that's
Your
what they were
intent was
saying.
good.
Maybe they weren't being smartasses. Maybe they were just saying she's all right.
Yeah, maybe that's the case.
Maybe.
I'm hoping because,
Yeah.
like, my boys Tanner and Austin have gone by and mowed her yard for her, and
Yeah.
we take care of her, and we just want to make sure. But I was like, oh, and am I being too nosy? I hope not. You know, I don't want to be that guy,
No, I
but I
think-
want to make sure she's okay.
I think in that situation,
Your heart's in it.
that's different. Like
Yeah.
Your
if
intent,
you're
right?
just if you're just spying on your neighbor and doing whatever, like
like
that's,
the lady behind us watching us in the hot tub. That's a different story.
Now, keep in mind, and I live in an apartment. I live on like a 12th floor in an apartment building, and they have that new hotel, the Porter, that they put up right next to the apartment.
Yes.
Yes.
So if I'm on my balcony and I'm looking out and I see all these windows and half of them are open and I see some people doing some things that might be deemed watchworthy,
I imagine you have.
Yes.
I'm just saying hypothetically.
No, I imagine you have.
Do you keep watching or do you turn around and go, oh, I shouldn't be looking? Tony, we'll start with you.
Ooh.
Don't lie.
I guess it just depends what's going on. I guess how disturbing or how exciting, one or the other.
That's
I can
a
tell
good
you
way
that
to put it.
we had neighbors downstairs that we could listen to their entire conversations on the baby monitor because we both must have had the same frequency.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
we would listen.
You hear some stuff that was going on.
Especially if there was a good
Do you
argument.
remember the Friends, where all the friends, Jennifer Aniston, and they were the big heavy dude was fall asleep in his chair, and they were trying to reach that stick and poke him to see if he was alive. It's one of those moments.
Well, Danny, I've seen you with your binoculars in your office when people across the building have
Oh,
something
I've
going
I
on.
just
totally
like to see
use
what's
those.
going on in the street. That's all.
And I may or may not have those in my apartment too.
I totally go in Danny's office and use those binoculars and check people out across the street, just see what they're doing. It's
we
funny.
don't even need binoculars to check them out. We can just stand at the window and
yeah,
wave
but with
at
the
them.
binoculars,
It's so much
it's like
better.
HD.
Yeah.
I
funny.
wouldn't want if somebody was in an argument. Like I just like seeing how people use their hands and yell at
Right.
each other. If they were doing something dirty, like I don't want to see that. Like that's your
Right.
business.
Yeah. Shut the
I
blinds.
mean, let's
Yeah,
be-
me neither.
Yeah.
Jake, what about you?
I'll
Well,
check
no,
it.
hold on. It sounds
They
like
have no
Bridger.
reasonable expectation of privacy if the window's open.
That's what I say.
Right.
That's it. You give up your privacy if you choose to he'd leave the windows open.
Sure.
You know, Bridger, do you have a topic, buddy?
He's over here going, "Rawr."
He's like,
bottles. Let's talk about bottles.
Book or
Bottles
shoe
or
toy.
boobs?
Exactly. And it's funny we bring that up because, there was that big thing for a while with the drones.
Right.
Because people were flying drones around
Oh.
apartment complexes.
Oh, my gosh.
And everybody's like, it's an invasion of privacy. There was one right down here on the waterfront, I remember. But I mean, I'm with Jake. If your windows are wide open, you're you're standing naked, that's your
Right.
deal.
so Scott told me about drone catchers. Have you heard about drone catchers?
No.
There's these drones that bring, 5 or 6 nets with them, and it's for paparazzi and things like that.
Sure.
They'll drive up and they'll throw a net at your drone and with a parachute to deploy so it doesn't ruin the drone, and your drone will.
Oh, to get rid of the paparazzi stuff.
Oh, that's smart.
Drone catcher.
Yeah,
Smart.
good idea.
I guarantee the
That's
paparazzi
the game you
are
play.
using those.
That's
Right?
right.
If I'm in my hot tub and I'm naked, which I always am,
Sure.
Mhm.
like that's how I hot
That's
tub.
why you never invite us. over.
Hot tubbing.
And
He's like,
like
yeah.
among other
I
reasons.
can expect privacy in my own backyard, unless there's a drone. In which case, well, then you know what? I got caught.
Was that Bridger or was that Jen over
That
there?
was Bridger.
That
Boy,
was
I was
Bridger.
like, get it, Bridger.
Yeah.
But that sounds like Jen every morning.
Yeah.
Oh, at least, and Jake will back me up on this. At least once a morning, you'll hear,
That was a big bottle.
"Excuse me," and then she'll go, "Excuse me."
Jake or Tony, who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Jakester. Mine's pretty quick.
I was going to talk about the ACM nods.
Oh, good
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
that- yeah,
yeah.
Those are good
And I
ones.
think we're at a bit of a tipping point with the ACM nods.
Okay.
In what way?
Where it gets to the point where they're missing out. Because we all looked at it today, and there were some obvious
Misses.
miscalculation. There were some obvious misses.
Like what?
Like Kane Brown.
Or album?
Not
Yeah,
even
or-
in there.
Not even in
You had
there.
to
Not
get down to
best
single
new
and
artist.
song, and down in the songs before Kane Brown got a nod.
And I don't know what the window was, the cutoff window, but I don't know how Experiment wasn't nominated. That's a great album.
Yeah.
Well, and Jake, you and I talked about this, I guess it was last year, because Kane Brown wasn't nominated for a lot. And we said, well, okay, he's kind of new. Let's let it pass.
I remember
That was,
this
that was CMA,
conversation.
so
Yeah.
that was 5 months
It was
ago.
like, listen, but we were
Still.
all kind of in agreement that if something, once the new year hits and this kid's not getting a lot of nominations, then something's up. I mean, it's just not fair. It's not, I mean, based on what we hear every day, you guys know.
He's on a roll.
you
Just like
two-
Luke Combs, who is worthy of a nod. I know it's
Is
weird
there anybody
that he's
being
new.
played more than Kane Brown right now on the radio? Maybe?
Luke Combs could rival him probably.
Yeah.
I mean, do they care though? I mean, like if he's selling out concerts and on tour and making money, like
No.
awards are great. Like that makes you feel really good. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if they're actually successful, then the ACMs and the CMAs
I'm not-
don't.
Yeah, I don't bring this up because I'm worried about Kane. I would bring it up because I'm worried about the ACMs. I'm worried about them looking irrelevant.
Oh yeah, no,
if they
totally.
can't get it right. If Kelsey Ballerini doesn't get a best female nod, which
Yeah,
she didn't,
she did not.
Ashley McBride did.
Right.
And
Yeah,
you know,
that's weird. I agree.
as a comparison, as I'm not comparing talent, but
Sure.
as far as impact on the industry, Kelsey Ballerini has made a larger one.
How are you going to feel if Casey Musgraves wins that category?
Fine.
Okay, so it doesn't matter that. Oh, because he has made an impact, just not
Casey
commercially
has
on.
made an impact.
Yeah, it's true.
On
And
the
I-
industry, and if it's, I don't even know what the criteria is, but I expect that representing country music is one of the
Sure.
criterion,
And maybe that's why Ashley got the nod. She
Okay.
certainly represents country music.
but not to the public.
Fair. She's
That's
written a
my
lot of
point.
songs. Yeah.
But as the ACMs, this is not a publicly voted thing. This is stations. This is members
Yep.
Industry.
that are a
Right.
part of it. So it's all industry stuff. So these are the people that are saying that this is actually what they feel is the best of the best right now for that category.
Then what's
Could
the
you
point
repeat
of
that,
putting it on
Jane?
TV for
let me
people?
make sure.
Right.
Let me make sure I'm understanding you. So you're saying that the ACMs are based on votes from people like us?
Members,
Yes.
yes. So if
Members
you're
of
a
the ACM.
member,
Okay.
you'll get a
Experts.
poll. You'll get a poll.
And
you get
us.
to vote.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's it. That's interesting.
really-
Now, I didn't know that, Jake. So now, after what you just said, that's really kind of disturbing to me as to that the guys, the men and women who are playing Kane Brown like crazy on the radio are not nominating.
We voted for him.
we
For
did.
the record, we
Yeah.
got to write in our nominations, and Kane Brown
It's
certainly was
voted
one
by experts, and it loses credibility if it can't connect with
The audience.
the populace.
What they're hearing.
Right.
Right.
Comment below,
Yeah.
what other artists or songs or albums do you think should have got a nomination that didn't? Or who do you think did get one that shouldn't have? I know the conversation about Ashley McBride's been in play.
I think it's widely. I think the nominations are also really wide this year in that.
Except for Entertainer of the Year. Seems
No,
to be the
that's
same five
part
every
of
year.
it. No, but it's Stapleton and Keith Urban are the only ones who got best male nods.
Right.
True.
So that's the only crossover there. Ashley McBride got 2 nods. Luke Combs got 2 nods, and that's it. Otherwise, it's one nod for everybody.
Right.
It's a really spread out group today, and I worry that we're missing the point. And the danger is that we lose steam as an industry if we can't represent what's in the mind of the average listener.
One of the biggest nights for us on TV, country music wise. There's 2 big nights. That's one of them, and
Yeah.
Right.
We're missing it. And we'll become the
We're missing-
Grammys if that's the case. Because the Grammys is voted on the same way. It's voted on by people who are not normal people.
The public, right?
Yeah,
I'll
they're
let them
not
know.
the
I
public.
think I'm going to go this year. I've never been to an award show.
To the
Oh,
movies?
Yeah, no, to the ACM.
Oh, you got to go.
It's my 40th
Yeah.
birthday weekend, you guys.
If you can go, go. Because I passed up going, and I've always regretted it because I thought, oh, I'll get to go the next year.
I think it's time.
No,
Yeah.
never assume you'll get to go next
I've
year.
also-
These are fun.
I'd also like to bring up that there were no females in the Entertainer of the Year category.
There hasn't been. When was the last time we saw that? It's
Carrie.
been, and that was what,
Carrie.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
It's-
Nominated? No.
Okay.
In the AC for the Entertainer of the Year?
Yeah.
It's been about
There-
5 years.
So let me
There
just
hasn't been a
let me say
female in a
what.
while.
Can I address the elephant in the room?
Please.
You got two issues here that are going to be brought out. One, you've got a young African American country artist
Right.
who has been shunned when, despite the fact he is all over the radio.
Right.
And you have, in a time where we're trying to give women equal rights or whatever, we have no women. We have no women in the. I mean, it's just a
Look,
political nightmare in my.
Entertainer
I mean,
of the
it
Year is a
poli-
high bar. You have to really be
I
that
know.
person. And
Yeah.
Look, I would argue that why isn't Garth in there if we're going to, split hairs? But
he is the entertainer of the year, right? I
is
mean,
there
who-
another female that can live up to that criteria to be on
Yeah.
that level?
Well, and I wrote this in a blog this morning that it's not because I'm sure there are qualifications to be Entertainer of the Year.
Sure.
And if you are not entertaining enough in your tour and what you do in the public's eye, then you shouldn't get the nomination. So obviously, yes, we want to give females equal whatevers.
But let's not do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yes, we don't want
Right.
to just put them in the category, which I get.
Because then
but-
it's a participation award.
Yeah, we want them to actually be entertainers. But so that's my question. Like, why aren't there women in the industry right now who are entertaining enough to get the nomination to be in that category? Like, there's
Well-
there's a disconnect somewhere.
Well, there is, but Carrie's been gone.
And she had kind of an off year. It
She had an
wasn't- it
off
wasn't
year.
the most
Well, she had a
original
baby,
success.
too.
She had a
that,
baby, sure.
that was it.
Well,
and I
she's
think it's
got
a
to quit
year-by-year
writing
basis.
songs that are just depressing.
She's
as
just doing the
hell.
one song.
She's
over and over.
God. I mean,
Right.
something happy would be nice.
Right.
And
I
I'm
think,
getting-
I think Kelsey's well on her way.
She'll be there.
Is any
Yeah.
any female artist doing what Taylor does
No.
or did?
To the
Putting
same
on
scale.
shows like
Oh,
that.
wow.
No.
No, I
No.
think. Look, I saw
That's why
Kelsey
they're not getting
Ballerini
entertained
Monday
enough.
night, and Kelsey
Right.
Ballerini put on a show, but it was a theater with 2,500 people. It wasn't an arena or a stadium, so she's on her way, but not to that scale yet.
No.
How's
And
it, let's ask. Carrie Underwood's coming to town, right?
Yeah.
How's her ticket? How are the tickets?
I
sold?
honestly don't know.
That'll be a
Don't
big
know.
indicator.
She's
right?
a great show, though. I've seen her every show she's been
Yeah.
to Portland.
It's an okay show,
But if I
Yeah, that's the question. Is she a great show or is she an okay show? Is she better than Keith Urban?
or
Oh.
Chris Stapleton.
Keith
or-
Urban's not my cup of tea, so that's a
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love
but
Chris Stapleton.
you can identify showmanship and entertainment factor
Sure.
when you see somebody. And Keith Urban is a all-around, whether you like him or not, an entertainer.
Right.
Is
That guy.
Stapleton?
Oh yeah.
No.
See, Stapleton. Now, I think the difference between Carrie and Stapleton is Stapleton's a vocalist and an amazing guitarist. So
But that's not.
he puts on a show, and he's incredibly talented on multiple levels.
So he's a vocalist.
Right.
sure,
So he certainly should
but it's
get
not
that nod.
vocal
Sure.
artist of the year; it's entertainer. And,
That's,
and
what
yeah,
that's my point.
but if we're talking Carrie versus Chris,
don't
I
think
would still
George
say
Strait
Chris.
should ever get entertainer. of the year
Correct.
either.
I agree 1,000%.
oh, how dare
quite
you,
frankly-
George.
Entertainer of the year.
George.
It's
Quite.
I understand.
He's awesome. He's the best. He's the king, but he's a vocalist.
I know. So I mean, but then we've got female vocalist of the year and male vocalist. So shouldn't we have a category that's just vocalist of the year, and then you can have entertainer for people like Garth that do shows and theatrics and stuff.
Right.
But then
Jump from
don't you
there.
need like a vocalist of the year?
Like a top vocalist.
A top vocalist,
That'd be
because
cool.
Be a
then
tough one.
I can see Chris Stapleton getting those types of things, and some other artists whose vocals are just phenomenal and
Right.
don't get
Well,
the.
and I would argue that it's a political game to have a new male and a new female and a new duo group. It's like, why not just one new category? Why do we have to subdivide it like that?
I think subdivide more.
I think it's a political game to make sure that the group of new artists in each category all get nominations.
I want to see that mid-range category too. Let's get them all in there. Let's get the whatever you want to call it, the Horizon Award,
Mhm.
the future A-lister.
Yeah, and
That has
but a
the-
Horizon Award isn't that CMAs?
No, it was
Oh.
ACMs.
Horizon Award is what they used to do on the ACMs,
Yeah,
and it
but
was
that-
one award, and
Right.
now they've divided it into three.
I'm
Right.
saying let's have more awards. You can't have too many awards. Let's have a place where Lee Bryce can get a nod, where
Right.
Jake Owen can get a nod.
He did get a nod.
Did he?
Yeah,
are you
Down to the
thinking-
Honky Tonk got Song of the Year
I'm
nomination.
not talking about those.
Oh,
So you're just saying, like in general, instead of just being 5 artists in that category, make it 10 or 15.
Oh no, I'm not saying
yeah.
that
Let's
either.
get participation awards
Yeah,
out.
More awards.
Okay.
Just
More
different
awards.
different categories that recognizes
For the purpose of giving awards to everybody or getting nominations to
there's only
everybody.
new, and then there's top.
Right.
There's nowhere for these people to live. Dustin Lynch can't get a nomination
True.
because he's not in any category.
Right.
Let's recognize those people who we are all excited to see.
Right. I agree with that.
And he'll get to perform and all that.
Who?
At the show. So
Yeah.
But
Does
I'm
it?
sure he would love
You
to.
think you'll?
Well, maybe not. You're right. Maybe
Yeah,
he won't.
I don't know.
But that's why, like, Toby Keith doesn't care about the CMAs. He's like, I don't care if I ever get a CMA in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Because it's political. He knows it.
I know, but
And he's a fan of the ACMs. He's been represented by them for many, many years. And I think there's some people that say the same thing about the ACMs. They're like, who cares? Whatever.
And I'm actually fine with the division of female male, especially when it comes to vocalists, because I think the females would actually beat out males in a vocalist category, especially right now. Like Kelsey Ballerini and Maren Morris, like some of their vocals they do,
Yeah.
vocally, I think they beat out Thomas Rhett's voice.
Marin got nominated, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe that's
everybody
what
but Kelsey.
maybe that's what the ACMs really
Which
need to do
I'm
is
mad about.
get the Maren Morrises out there in front, get the Casey Musgraves up there on the stage, get
Sure.
these women that, quite frankly, a lot of the audience doesn't get to hear as much because that might be what the women in country music need is to be that exposure.
Heard. Right.
Who got
Right.
nominated for new female? I got to pull them up. I
Ashley
guess.
McBride.
Yep.
Ashley.
See, there you go. There's her nomination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine she'll win that.
She also got female vocalist.
She
didn't
almost
she?
got female
Carly
vocalist
Pierce was
nom.
in there.
Carly Pierce,
Carly
new female.
Pierce.
Trying to find it on the side here.
Yeah.
Hang on, I can pull it up.
Was
right
Mira in there as
here.
well?
No. Only Ashley McBride was the double.
Are we
winner.
saying new female or just female?
New female, because
New
Ashley
female.
got
Daniel Bradbury. What is that?
What do you
Lindsay
mean,
L.
what is that? Daniel's talented.
She is, but where the hell has she been?
She's had a
Right?
couple cuts.
She's
That
had a
was
couple
it, yeah.
songs that
Being
didn't
new.
make it.
She's being new.
I know
Lindsay L. She belongs there.
Lindsay
Lindsay
L
L
belongs there.
definitely.
Carly Pierce belongs there. Ashley McBride.
You really think Ashley's a shoe-in over Carly Pierce?
No.
Oh, who said that?
And
I think
I
so.
think people that are watching may think we're being critical. We're not saying that we think they're all talented. We're
Oh,
just saying
absolutely.
based on concerts and airplay
Yeah.
and buzz. We're saying some of these people just aren't. There's not a buzz about it. Daniel Bradbury.
Like, I think Ray Lynn should be in there over Daniel Bradbury.
Well, I don't know if
but
you consider her
she's
new.
not in the. She's just not
in that realm
not
yet.
part of the mainstream country right
But-
now.
Right.
And
Ray Lynn got a nomination for new a couple years ago. She's
And
been
the-
out for several.
Even you can extend this out into a lot of different venues. You consider it to be a good game if the team you think was going to win won.
Mm-hmm.
But here's
That's the. I mean,
True.
Mm-hmm.
it's
Here's-
how you go into it thinking. If you perceive
Sure.
this is an artist, you want to see them win because
Right.
that's how you.
Here's why
That's
I
your team,
think
yeah, it's your
the new
guy.
category should be one again, like the Horizon. Here's why. When you look at new male vocalists, there are 5 names there. One of which is playing Country Fest June 2nd, Jordan Davis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vote for him.
Low Cash also
When you-
got a nomination.
Oh, I'm getting there. I'm getting
Oh,
there.
sorry.
New female vocalist.
Gotta hit
Only 4 nominees. Why not 5 like the rest of the categories?
Right.
Duo, group, new duo or group. Only 3 nominees.
That is strange.
Why only
Yeah.
3?
Why not 5?
Why not 5?
Well,
Sure.
You start
Because there
throwing in
aren't
the-
5 new vocal groups. That's why.
You start throwing them in and you start losing credibility. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
why we shouldn't fragment them that way. And look, if we want to have a party, why not make 10 nominees for Entertainer of the Year, the big category, make it bigger so that it can be
That's
more
fine, I'm fine
inclusive.
with that.
Now,
Yeah.
look,
I
it'll
think
probably be one of the
Entertainer is-
5 that'll still win, but whatever.
This the entertainer category is a whole kind of different category. Like it's it looks at different things. I like that it's kind of the big one. It's kind of a neat thing.
Sure. I'm
But
just saying
it's a
let's
showman
recognize
category,
more
and
by
none
having,
of the other ones are.
but we can recognize more entertainers by having more nominees.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
And whether or not they win, at least they get the recognition of being nominated. That's kind of cool.
And hasn't it been the last couple of years that there's been a fan-based vote for one of the categories? I can't remember which one it was.
I think it's the new categories.
Yeah.
I
The
think it
new
was.
artist. And maybe that's why they have 3
New
now,
female,
so they
new
can
artist, and
get
new
more
group.
web
Right.
traction off of
Maybe
that or
so.
something.
Mhm.
I don't know. I agree. I think it's an interesting idea to do one vocalist of the year category. That would be interesting to see how that pans out.
Yep.
ACMs. Brings up the end of my point. ACMs can stay relevant,
Mhm.
or they can become the Grammys. That's the point we're
Mhm.
at. We're at a fork in the road, and either they start not matching what's reality, or we get back on track.
Yeah.
Because they were doing really well. I mean, it was a fun thing to watch. They had great music. They were
Yeah, they're
They
fun.
were-
I
they
think
had
award
the
shows are
touch.
fun.
Yeah.
I think they're better than any other award shows on TV. But
I love them.
again, that's because I like country music. But
And
yeah.
and look, if we're going to fluctuate category counts, if some are going to have 3, some are going to have 4, some are going to have 5 nominees, duo of the year. Brothers Osborne, cool.
Yeah.
Dan and Shay, Makes sense.
Yep.
Florida Georgia Line, absolutely. Low Cash, who are headlining Country Fest June 2nd. You bet. Maddie and Tay?
Yeah, I know.
One of these groups are not like the others.
Well, Matt, they have a machine behind them.
I get it. They're talented.
I don't know what's going on there.
What's your favorite Natty and Tay song from 2018? Anybody?
No, I don't.
Anybody?
I don't
Did
know.
they have one?
Oh, they did. They had two.
did.
Oh.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like we're filling out categories just to fill out categories in some, and in others we're just shortening the list because we don't want to struggle to find a fourth or fifth. That just seems uneven, and if we're going to do that, combine categories. That's all.
Right.
But I agree with your point, and that is something to be concerned about.
Definitely.
Bridger is obviously really upset about this. Does he need a minute?
I think he needs a diaper change.
Oh, boy.
Oh, this would be great for ratings.
I thought that was just Mojo.
Hey, you know what? Tony's diaper needs changed too.
Yeah, I know.
After all,
my
it's a bunch of
Depends.
BS.
I just got my new box of Depends last night.
Throw it out there, Tony. I'm going to give it right back.
All
right. What, you want to throw yours or mine
I'm
on
an
the
easy
table?
target. Mine was I got to go to the Justin Timberlake concert,
Which is awesome.
And I am just a huge Justin Timberlake fan, and music is a small part of it. I think he's just like to watch him on Saturday Night Live and to see him on Jimmy Fallon, and just the way he
might be the coolest guy alive.
Yeah.
Yes, he's just so great. And so for me, I was really excited just to be there, and I was excited, and I did love seeing him dance and see him there, and it was kind of weird because I remember when he was a little boy,
Right.
and his scene, I'm like, he's a grown man now, but I was disappointed in that I only knew a couple songs.
I heard he did an NSYNC song. He did like Bye Bye Bye, right?
I ought to be honest with you, I left by like 10:15.
Well, it was late. And then you still called in sick the next day.
How much of the show is that?
I had to go out to Camas before I even got to go home. What's that?
How much of the show is that? Like, how many songs did you see?
About an hour.
That's not bad.
Because he went on like 9:15.
Yeah, I
right?
was there. I'm sorry, I said 10. It was after. It was probably more like 10:30 or so. But
You saw an hour of it. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So
yeah, I
good.
did.
I thought you bailed early.
I didn't hear. I realized about halfway through this thing. Oh, wait a minute, you're an NSYNC fan. When
That's
it comes
funny.
to the music,
Sure.
I'm like, and I heard none of that. But I was amazed by his humility.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It was
super
weird.
humble.
It was like I got to see the combination of hip hop meets country.
Right.
The country. If you go to usually, there's not for me those kind of hip hop rock concerts. There's not that same feel that there is at a country concert. But this one had that.
Absolutely.
It did. It was like there was this humility about him and about his band, and this we come from Tennessee. We got our roots, and we're appreciative of all of you type mentality.
He's happy to let you know he's from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
He is damn proud of it. And it's awesome.
So-
I agree with you. I saw him a couple years ago, and it was still to this day one of the best concerts I have ever seen. I
Yeah.
mean, dance moves all the way around. I was like, oh, man, I'd really like to
It's
see
pretty
that show
incredible.
again. But
Yeah.
after I had a friend that was literally sitting like on the stage as a bartender, and I watched this video and I'm like, oh my God, it was just awesome.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, but I mean, Mojo and I had a great night too. We got to spend it with
I
Casey
know.
Musgraves because
Who
there was two
also
shows.
who did an NSYNC song. I don't think she realized Timberlake was in town. She did. She brought the opening act up to do "Tearing Up My Heart" in this
Right.
really cool acoustic
Yeah.
singer-songwriter kind of way. It was really cool.
I gotta say, I would have rather. I'm glad I went to Justin Timberlake. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Although it was $350, could have got 600.
You could have
my tickets.
You could have bought your sexy back for that.
But Danny
Yeah.
gave me an open door for Casey, and I I was like, oh, I think I would have enjoyed hearing her sing more.
Boy,
Is that crazy?
Yeah. Look, I've met
Yeah.
Timberlake, and I agree with
Yeah.
everything you say. He's absolutely a gentleman. In fact, when I met
Yeah.
him in Vegas at his golf tournament, I was with my pregnant wife at the time, and he was like, "Oh, sweetheart, do you need a chair? Is there anything you can do?" He was super
Yeah.
accommodating.
I
Cool
would
dude.
love to meet his parents. I know
Right.
this sounds very old of me. Like I'm up there
That's the
going,
oldest thing maybe you've ever
yeah,
said.
right. I'm like,
Yeah.
his parents did a good job raising that boy.
Right.
And this might be old
yeah.
of me to
His
say.
pastor.
This might make me sound old too, but I'm glad I chose Casey over Timberlake.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. I
Because you wanted to sit down.
Yes.
No, and
My
we didn't
joints,
sit
they hurt.
down.
Everything
But
starts hurting after
We
40.
hardly
Yeah.
sat down. I
Yeah.
mean, that
True.
show was like standing room only. I had a girl next to me literally singing every word at the top of her lungs, almost in tears. I have not seen that in a while.
And keep in mind,
Pretty powerful.
Probably 75 to 80% of the concert were all songs from the new album. And normally
Yeah.
that's you
Yeah.
expect to hear the hits and the songs from the
Right.
So
That's a roll of the dice.
it
And-
was, but man,
And just like Timberlake, the age group went from 10 to 70.
yep.
Oh my
It
gosh,
was crazy.
Yeah. I wonder, again, sounding old. I wonder if Justin Timberlake looks out into this crowd and realizes what a gift he has. I mean, you talk about mass appeal.
Sure.
To sing the music that he sings.
Right. Oh,
and you got guys 52 years old up there with my date who was much younger than me. Not really.
Everybody
much.
is.
She says that, but she's not. Much hotter than me. But she, we're up there dancing, we're enjoying it. And then the kid in front of me was like maybe 15 years old, just dancing.
Like
and it's
crazy.
Like, to have that kind of gift,
to
go that many generations,
sure,
he's kind of like a Garth Brooks of pop music,
right? And he's been around for 20-something years. I mean,
I know. I didn't realize he was
crazy,
into
right?
he was into Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, he was.
I forgot
I remember
about
watching that in the early '90s with Britney and Carrie Russell and JC from NSYNC and Aguilera. Ryan Gosling. There's a lot. Isn't it crazy?
Oh, I forgot about Ryan.
Yeah,
now, here's
I still
the thing.
think one of my favorite performances ever from him was the year that he performed on the CMAs with Stapleton.
Everybody, yeah.
Pretty
And
cool.
I mean, literally, like, that building, the roof exploded because people were not expecting that. And they were like, oh, my gosh.
Do you think that he's, by being famous from, almost probably since he can almost remember, that he's missed out on things?
No.
Sure.
I always wonder about that.
Absolutely, he's missed out on birthdays and things like that.
No, but I mean, like
normal kid things.
Does he doesn't?
I think he pulls it off because you see somebody like I always felt Hunter Hayes was
out of his element.
No, not out of his. In social situation because he's been a musician since he was 4.
Right.
Right.
He's been in the lab.
It does make you a bit sheltered and kind of socially awkward a little bit.
It was kind of like I met this guy who he played professional football, and that's all he'd done his whole life, right? Mm-hmm. And the only time you could have a conversation with the guy is if you were talking about football. He got awkward.
He didn't know
outside of that, he got
else.
awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
and football's at least a social thing. Like when you're a musician, a lot of times.
But I just wonder, like I look at JT and those guys that were Britney Spears too, like his old girlfriend,
right?
And you think, did they have a great life, or would it have been better if they'd have gotten famous when they were, say, 16 to 20-some? I don't know. Who knows?
Bridger doesn't agree with you for the record.
Yeah.
I love hearing the baby in the background the whole time. I think it's awesome. Hey, Danny, you trying to turn the heater on?
Oh, turn it off.
It's working now.
Maybe it's because it's too hot for him.
For 2 weeks, we have had the hardest time getting the temperature in this studio like above freezing.
Jen, I think
the plate is missing now.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened to that.
I had to take it to Trish because it kept falling off when we shut the door.
I don't think you should put him anywhere near these microphones because they kind of look like a boob. And so he thinks he's going to get food.
No wonder Tony always takes his with him when he goes home every day.
That's funny.
All right, let's talk. Did that get weird? Oscars are Sunday night. I want to talk movies, and you're not Oscar nominees per se, but what your favorite movie of the year was. I know there's a lot, and Tony, you actually go to a lot of movies.
I do. Okay.
I already know what Jake's and Danny's answers are, and honestly, I might agree with you.
Stars Born was my favorite favorite adult movie. The other one, though.
Bridger does not agree with you.
The cartoon or the based on comics was the big one that everybody loved.
Spider-Man?
No.
Black Panther. Avengers.
Yeah. That was crazy good.
Yeah, it
crazy.
was really good.
I thought Black Panther was really good
Did that
too.
come out
but
in 2018?
Yeah, it was April.
Oh, was it?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that makes it hard, right?
Yeah, it makes it hard.
It does. The Spider-Man, the latest Spider-Man,
really good.
That's totally animated. I was blown away by how good that was.
Oh, which one? The animated one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the latest one.
It's the
It's
latest
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes,
I
Into the
can't imagine
Spider-Verse.
I'd care about that.
Yo, you absolutely will.
Yes,
You
I was the same
absolutely
way. I was
will.
like, when David, my son, who's 16, said, "Let's go see it," I was like, "Yeah, let's go." And in my head, I'm like, I don't want to watch a cartoon.
Jake,
It's a cartoon.
It might be the best Spider-Man movie yet.
It's freaking good, man.
And because the story
Better
is
than Homecoming?
the story. Yeah, the Homecoming's really good, and that's the bar for me. This one is a different kind of story because there's more than one. Let's just say that. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's really good.
And for its time, Spider-Man 1 was pretty awesome. too.
Yeah, but I think
Tobey Maguire.
Homecoming eclipses.
He
it.
was my favorite, probably.
If you're
now that I
comparing,
think
but it
about
is apples
It's
and
just
oranges.
because it's new people making it, but yeah.
Sure. What is your pick?
All
See
those-
what you're gonna say.
Bohemian was my vote, but then
Avengers.
Avengers.
Really good.
Well, I wasn't when I was watching Avengers. It was clearly very awesome. Avengers: Infinity War, and I was watching it going, "This is amazing."
And you were
This is
late
the
to the party on that
greatest,
one. When did you get to
probably.
see that? You waited a long time.
Yeah. But like, I don't remember. I wasn't watching that going, "God, I wish this movie was longer." like I was in Bohemian.
Right.
I wanted every
Oh,
scene
wow.
to go on for 10 more minutes.
I did too.
Is
Yeah.
Bohemian
Yeah.
on? Can I get Bohemian on
Yes.
Netflix or Amazon right now?
Danny and I
Not
watched
yet.
it on the airplane.
You can
You can get it on iTunes.
you
I
can-
just saw
Because
it.
he's talked about it nonstop.
you get it on
yeah.
iTunes. I know that
Yeah.
for sure. We watched it on the plane to Nashville, and man,
It is stupid good.
I'm
It's
so
really good.
mad
And it
that I
leaves
watched
out.
it on a
I heard it
foreign
leaves out the
screen.
dark part, the
It
the
does, thank
darkness,
goodness.
which is good.
Yeah.
because you want to celebrate his gifts, but
And man, I'll tell you, the last 20 minutes. This isn't a spoiler. It's the last
Yeah.
20 minutes is an entire recreation of the Live Aid performance.
Yep.
Minus "We Will Rock You." That was, I don't know if you noticed, that was
Yeah.
missing from that. Probably edited for time or because they played it earlier in the
They
movie.
played it
But
in the movie, I think.
there's a YouTube video where they do side by side from the original versus
saw it.
that.
that
Man.
close,
Yeah.
crazy close.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so close. It's almost identical. Obviously,
Yeah.
it looks a little different because he's not, identical to Freddie, but
Right.
unbelievably good.
We
and
love it, yeah.
they took the entire audio of it and he lip synced it, so it's not really him singing. But it's
Oh,
incredibly
okay.
good.
And he did a phenomenal job.
Who played him?
Rami Malek,
Rami Malek.
who I'm picking to get the nod for actor. I think Lady Gaga.
They already got nominated.
Yeah, they're both nominated for actor and
But for the
actress.
win.
Getting the trophy. You mean.
I think both of those two are going to win. And I really think Bohemian Rhapsody stands to, or Star is Born, or one of those two. And I love that they're both music movies.
I do
Are
too.
going to win Best Picture. Although it's kind of a bummer Bradley Cooper didn't get nominated for director because he did a
Yeah.
great job with that.
And
movie.
he
yeah.
actually said that he was cool with it, but I'm like, man, that's like one of his biggest projects, and it sucks that he's not getting credit
Well,
for
he
it
got
all.
an actor nod, which
Yeah.
I think if any other year he'd probably have that in the bag. But that Bohemian Rhapsody movie is so
Uh-oh.
good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go my pick though. None of those, and it didn't get nominated.
Pick for what?
For
Best
my
Picture?
favorite movie. My favorite movie of the year, Ready Player One. Did you see it?
Yeah.
You didn't like it.
I liked it.
You see it on the big screen?
Yeah. No.
It just there's so much nostalgia in that movie, and when they do the scene with The Shining,
Yeah.
it's pretty incredible.
Oh, I did see that
It's
one.
a cool movie. It's
Yeah.
not a
I
best
loved
picture.
it. Loved it. I'm not saying it's an Oscar winner. I'm saying it's my favorite movie of the year.
Wow.
God,
Better than Bohemian and Infinity War.
I am having a serious.
Wow.
Are you dug in now? Like now that you've said it, you realize you can't take it back?
No, I realize that those are all good, and they're all my top 5 for sure. And if I'm picking critical acclaim, I'm probably going to go, honestly, Star Wars Born.
Yeah.
I thought
You haven't seen it?
Mm.
Oh,
but,
you got to
but
go
the
see
thing
it.
about Bohemian Rhapsody and Star Wars Born, it sticks with you. Like when you leave that theater, you're thinking about
Oh, I
that movie
couldn't
for
not.
hours.
You know what? This was a phenomenon that has never happened to me before. I watched Bohemian in the theater, and I loved it so much.
you
and I
did?
waited. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, I went and saw it in the theater. It was amazing, and I walked out of there thinking I cannot wait to watch it again.
Yes.
And I waited all through Christmas. They didn't put it out in time for Christmas, and I was so upset by that.
Right.
I was like, I wanted to watch it over Christmas break, and they didn't get it out in time. And then it didn't put it out in January, and it just came out in February. And then I watched it, and this has never happened to me before. I watched it, and I thought I didn't enjoy it the second time as much as I thought I was going to because I didn't forget anything.
Anything of it.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you missed a certain, because I saw it on the plane, but like now I'm mad because I didn't see it at the theater. Tony, don't watch it on your phone. Go to the theater.
Yeah.
If there's a theater showing it, go see
There
it there.
is Fox Tower showing it just down the road.
It'd be so much better, trust me, because I can't wait to see it on my big screen now because I'm like, I have to see it.
It's epic.
But I
No.
want to make sure
I
that
just
like, I
missed-
don't
I
miss
think-
anything because
they
it
were
was
just
so
saying.
good.
I thought you saw it, didn't?
Hold on.
Dave
Dave,
didn't want to see it.
I thought my son is a huge fan of that music,
You
and
walked
I couldn't
out.
talk him into going.
Dude.
Oh, I thought you guys
Weird.
walked out of that one.
And all of your
No,
points are
no.
completely valid, so please don't think I'm pointing you in a different direction. But have you seen A Star Is Born?
No, huh?
Oh,
Ooh,
I
boy.
gotta
don't
go
know.
see
I don't
it.
know that I can fully
It's sad,
accept
though, right?
your. It's kind of a
Yes.
tragedy.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and
Well,
yes.
you've seen the original, but
No.
man, it's an incredible movie. It's such a great story.
I cried at
I did
least
too.
3 times
I did
during
too.
that movie, and it is too real. He does too good a job, and it gives you some of the most uncomfortable moments I've ever had watching a movie.
yeah.
But you
It
are-
was so real.
But
so
from
I
the
don't know. Yeah,
moment that movie starts, you are sucked in.
I can't
Oh,
watch it. I
it
couldn't
draws-
watch it again
I don't
because
know
I
if
know
I could watch it
I
again.
can't. It's just too. It's too
Wait,
heavy.
Jen, we need
I'd
you.
like to.
Jen,
I'd like
hold on,
to.
Bridger. We need,
And
we need
Sam
your
Elliott.
pick.
Sam Elliott.
He's not bothering us.
You know, Oregon's own Sam. No, I
Yeah.
want to hear Jen's pick. I feel like we haven't got to her yet.
Sorry.
because
It's
that little
okay.
guy she's holding, I
You
don't
don't
think
have to,
he's seen
exit
Don't
it.
with him, it's fine.
apologize.
I'm
We-
just I'm afraid that the crying is annoying.
No.
Okay, let's see. Show
all
of hearts
dancing.
if you want the baby to stay. Oh, they say stay. Go ahead.
Hands down.
Who are the nominees?
Star
No,
is Born.
Doesn't matter
No,
about
you
the
can pick
nominees.
any
What's your
of
favorite
your
What's your favorite movie you saw in 2018?
Sit down.
My
Please,
favorite.
take
Did you get to see
my
any?
favorite movie in 2018.
Did you get to see any?
Coco.
Yeah. Coco.
Was that this year?
2018?
Did that come out?
No,
Did
it was-
that come out in 2017?
I think that was
I finally saw it
2017.
in
Yeah.
2018.
Coco's a
Oh,
great
boy.
movie. But
It's
yeah,
funny
it
you
was
said
last
it.
year.
As parents, we all know this. I mean, I literally walked in my office the other day at the house, and I looked at this stack of DVDs, and it was Lion King 1 and 2, Toy Story 1 and 2, or number 1, and then it was like Cars 1, 2, and 3. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the Disney Brigade. So Jen, I got some movies you want to borrow them.
We're literally blowing up with hearts right now. There must be a delay.
I'm trying to think of movies that came out in 2018 that I saw.
Well, you think worst movie of the year? That 10-minute scene, short animated thing before Incredibles 2. That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Weirdest
in my
thing ever,
life.
but he brings this up every time. And
Am I right?
And you prepared me for it. Was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Did Incredibles 2 come out in 2018?
Yeah, I did.
Incredibles 2. then.
Great choice,
All
and it's
right.
nominated for best animated film. But there's a short at the beginning of it about what are those little puff pastry things you get? The Asian fits like a dim sum or
Oh yeah, dim sums.
Is it dim
It
sum?
Wonton?
was bizarre.
No, it's like a
Like a
pastry.
little pastry patty. They're,
Oh,
they're like a marshmallows.
like-
Hambao?
Maybe that.
Maybe.
I'm telling you,
But
whoever
it comes
did
to
that.
life, and this lady like takes it and treats it like a kid, and measures it and watches it grow.
A
and
dumpling.
A dumpling. It's
A
kind of
dumpling.
dumpling.
It's bizarre,
and,
man.
and then it gets out and it goes out on a date, and then she says goodbye as they go out on the date, and then she opens the door, reaches back in, and eats them in the end.
That was weird.
And I'm in a room full of kids, and the kid. Sorry, spoiler alert.
No,
And the
it-
kids
you-
are like,
How did I miss that?
the amount of drugs being taken by whoever wrote that was astronomical.
Right.
I
And-
mean, it was beyond
Crazy.
weird.
and
was
there
weird.
are more complaints about that than any other short. Although people did complain about that Frozen short being so long before one of the, and I think it might have been Coco.
Don't even bring up the movie Frozen. I hate
And
it.
if you're a fan of Pixar, and I don't know if anybody knows this, I found this out last night that OMSI is going to have the animation of Pixar, how it all came to life, on display.
Oh, I'm
And-
reading a book right
That's-
now about. Thank you,
I just
Jen.
got done reading Creativity Inc.
It's
It's
cool.
really
by
good.
the founder of Pixar.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
Now,
It's gonna
Steve
take-
Jobs is in on that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm only a couple
the founder
chapters
was
in
like-
because I'm really slow with reading. But.
He was part of
John
the
Lasseter or something? Who was the founder?
John
Ed,
Lasseter.
Lasseter, yeah.
Ed Katz.
Is this one of these things that Steve
something,
Jobs
yeah.
took over with
His-
Hostile
I think it was
Takeover?
just his money was in it.
Oh,
He was
probably.
he was part of the computer side of it because in the beginning Pixar they had these ideas but they couldn't get their computer systems to create what they
Needed
so
to do.
he needed they needed the funding from him because the guy who did Star Wars
George Lucas.
George Lucas. Yeah, he's kind of a big deal.
he
From
was
Modesto,
in
by
that
the way.
too. And they kind of split ways. You just have to read the book. But I'm excited if OMSI's going to do that because
Yeah,
then I can.
I think
we
it
can
runs
for-
March through like late June.
That'll be
So it'll be
fun.
cool.
Can I circle back with one thing?
Yeah,
Was Incredibles 2 that good?
yeah. It's really
It
good.
wasn't as good as the first one.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but it's good.
I remember,
Where's
I remember
my
you,
super
you
soup?
saying it was better.
That's my favorite part.
Did I say that?
It was
You said it was better than the first one.
No, I
Incredibles.
said Mary Poppins might have been better than
Definitely you
the
didn't
first
say that.
I absolutely loved Incredibles.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Mary
I did say that. You
Poppins.
said
Mary
too.
Poppins is better than the original.
one. The new Mary
Yes.
Poppins is really good.
Right.
Yes.
I do remember saying that one.
Yeah.
And,
And
it
don't
rivals
believe all
the
the
original.
stupid controversy over the chimney sweeping bull crap. Like
Yeah.
Right.
people have no time. They have too much
Wait,
time on their hands.
what's the controversy? You can't.
The soot that they put on their faces because they were
Faces.
working in the blackface something.
Oh no, that
They
yeah.
tried to take it that way.
No, it's definitely not
No.
that.
No.
I wish I had an ounce of Manuel Miranda's talent. Oh, my gosh, that guy's insane.
crazy. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens Sunday night. I know Tony will be watching.
I will be.
What
Oh,
is it?
I
Was
don't
the
know. You
Oscars
kind of
this
got me
week?
hooked on
Yeah,
stuff.
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is
I just like to watch the red carpet
Me
for
too.
Oscars.
I like watching
because
E.
that is the one that
I
is
like
like
to
the
see the
one
stars.
award show that everybody actually like dresses very elegantly.
Right.
Like you're not trying to make a super statement.
No.
Yeah. I just want somebody to come to me in the morning and ask me what I'm wearing. I can be like, oh, Amazon Essentials.
Amazon.
Well, I think the best way to wrap up today's show would be an extreme close-up of Bridger.
Yeah.
Don't we
Yes.
all agree?
Yeah.
Show of hearts if you'd like that to be the way we go out
That's
today.
the only reason people have
There
been
he
watching
is.
this long.
And if you're listening, you can just hear the whines.
Bridger.
Oh,
Hi. Hey, can you smile?
Look right here.
this is child
There it is.
exploitation at its finest.
There it is.
There we go.
there.
Are we going full? Can we go full Jake on that?
He's there. Look at that smile. Those cheeks, I just want to lick them and eat them. They're like marshmallows.
Oh, so cute.
Hi, buddy.
Hey.
Oh.
What's it now?
Oh, that's
Time for a
awesome.
nap.
Grandpa does too.
Yeah, him and mom both.
We got to get Tony back so he can get his nap on the floor with the kids.
He gets that 4 o'clock meal, the early bird.
I hope you get your bed back at some point, buddy.
It's only 11:30. They'll be sleeping for another 3 hours,
There you
probably.
go.
You know.
Well, I think next week I'll have a special guest because I won't be here.
Okay.
So heads
Nice.
up on that.
All
But-
right.
Bob Prophet from upstairs. That'd be a good one.
No, there you go. Bob from accounting
He's
would
our-
be fun.
he is-
Bob
he
from
is-
accounting,
He is
my
like
butt.
the man.
That'll make for the most interesting round of questions we've ever heard.
You would see the rest of
Yes.
us behave somewhat.
And Tony.
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
Afraid of
Yeah.
Bob? Who's afraid of Bob? Really?
I'm not afraid of Bob. I love
Afraid of
Bob.
Bob.
I don't know. There's something about him.
Is he watching? I am.
I'm not Bob.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We know you're watching because you're not doing anything else, right? So-
Wow. And on that note, Tony at Tony Russell Radio on Instagram. We'll talk to you next week at 10:30. Bye.
See you
Bridger, say
guys.
bye. I think that was bye.
He's out.